In some ways, Acland, Australia, is a perfectly nice little town. The streets are clean, the signage is welcoming, the local park is tidy and well maintained. And yet, something is missing. You don't see many people, or buildings, and parts of the town are off limits. This town wasn't designed for just a handful of people. So where did everyone go? What happened here? A place like this doesn't usually empty out for no reason. The town of Oki is just a few minutes down the road. It has schools, shops, people going about their lives. And Toowoomba, a city of around 200,000, is less than an hour away. So if Ackland isn't isolated, why aren't the streets full of homes? To understand what happened to Ackland, you have to know why it ever existed in the first place. The area around Ackland was first settled by Europeans in the 1800s. Back then it was known as Lagoon Creek. A school opened in 1885, mostly educating the children of local farmers. In 1912, the town of Ackland was officially founded. It grew around a group of small coal mines. The smaller mines eventually gave way to one larger mine. And with that, and the surrounding agriculture providing steady work, Ackland developed into a proper town. It had a church, hotel, a butcher, a baker, a post office, and a railway station. But more than buildings, this was a place of homes, families, children going to school, generations growing up on the same few streets. For decades, people built their lives in Ackland. This wasn't a town in decline. Ackland was a small country town, full of people and life. So what could undo a town like this? By the 1970s, the mine was still operating, but it was relying on mining methods that were long out of date. The mine eventually closed in 1984. And in many towns, that's where stories like this end. But that wasn't the end of Ackland. The old mine was turned into a mining museum, and the people of Ackland poured their efforts into beautifying their town. In the 1980s, it won Queensland's Tidy Town Award for a town of its size 6 times, and it took the top spot overall in 1989, 5 years after the mine's closure. But if the mine closing didn't hollow out Ackland, what did? Ackland didn't empty out because mining left. It emptied out because mining came back. It's easy to assume that nearly a century of mining would have exhausted the coal beneath Ackland. But the truth is, those early methods barely scratched the surface. Beneath the town sat an estimated 500 million tons of coal. And in a state with a long history of coal mining, and a workforce that knows how to do it, a resource of that size is hard to keep buried. Mining was brought back to Ackland by the New Hope Group, a Brisbane-based company. Using modern mining methods, they opened Stage 1 of the new Ackland coal mine. The mine sat just outside the town. In the beginning, it was a small mine, and many people in Ackland were optimistic. A new mine meant new jobs, and a stronger local economy. In this early stage, Ackland didn't change much. People stayed. Life continued. For a time, the town lived alongside the new mine, much as it had the old one. But that balance wouldn't last. After the opening of the mine, attention quickly turned to expansion. Plans were drawn up for Stage 2, which would expand the mine to the edge of town. Soon after, the New Hope Group began buying property inside the town itself. For many, it felt like the future of Ackland had already been decided. A year after the New Hope group started buying, 85% of the town had been sold. Ackland didn't fade away slowly. It emptied fast. In April 2007, the New Hope group released a statement on their plans for Stage 3. These plans included the removal of the town of Ackland. One Ackland resident refused every offer. His name was Glenn Butel. Glenn had lived in Ackland his entire life. His mother helped establish the town park. Ackland wasn't just where he lived. It was his home. Glenn watched as his neighbors sold their land. Homes were demolished or removed, transported by their owners to other towns. Even the church was uprooted and driven off to another town. The Stage 3 mine expansion was not unopposed. It resulted in years of legal battles involving residents, farmers, the New Hope Company, and the government. The coal beneath Ackland was incredibly valuable, but so was the farmland above it. And to many, the memories and history of Ackland were priceless. Legal judgments for the Stage 3 expansion swung one way, then the other. Appeals and reviews kept everyone waiting. By 2021, Stage 2 was exhausted of coal. And with no approval for Stage 3, mining activity stopped. Hundreds of people lost their jobs, and the surrounding communities felt it. By now, Glenn had been Ackland's lone resident for years, spending his days tending gardens and documenting the wildlife that had made the town their home. In 2023, approval was granted for a revised Stage 3. This time, the town of Ackland would stay. Many people returned to work, mining suppliers, consultants, contractors, all geared up for the new project. Today, Ackland still stands. There's a park for visitors, and a mine nearby that once again provides work for hundreds of people. No one got everything they wanted. The mining company was allowed to expand, but not as much as it had planned. And although the town of Ackland was saved, it was changed forever. Only Glenn remains. The mine still owns most of the land in town, yet Ackland still lives. Physically, in memory, and in the annual Anzac Day Memorial, where hundreds gather to remember Ackland's past and its people.
I have a confession to make. This isn't my first trip to Ackland. I actually came out here about 2 weeks ago, intending to make a different sort of video. I saw Ackland referred to as a ghost town, and I came out here to film basically that. But when I got here, I realized that's not what Ackland is. It's not deserted and it's not abandoned. What remains of this town is cared for. The grass is mowed, the park's maintained. There's people that care about this place. And as I learn more about the history of the town and the people who built their lives here, the few who do remain, and the many more who come back every year to pay their respects at the war memorial, it became harder and harder to characterize Ackland as a ghost town. In fact, I ran into Glenn today. He came up to me while I was filming, and we talked for about 3 hours. He told me his personal history in Ackland, a lot of the history of the town. He showed me a lot of pictures and a lot of personal keepsakes and memories about this place. I was kind of in a bit of a pinch before I met him on how to end this video and what I was gonna say to sum up my time here in Ackland. But Glenn kind of gave me the answer. while I was talking to him, he told me, why don't you end your video with something positive about the future of Ackland? He has hope for the future. He wants this place to become something again. He wants people to come back here. So that's how I'm gonna end it. I hope that if you live in the area, you come by and check this place out. Or maybe even sometime in the future, somehow, through some way, people start living here again. Because it's really quite a special place.